She's just a homeless veteran, my sister screamed in court, but when I placed a paper on the judge's desk, he said only lock the doors. No one leaves this room. Dad turned away, Mom trembled and my sister froze. Update force. Olivia's hands trembled as she took the papers. What is this, some kind of joke, she hissed. Daniel appeared behind her, slow and deliberate. You really want to go this route, Maya? He said, voice like gravel soaked in oil. You don't know who you're fighting. I met his gaze. Calm, control. I used to work internal investigations at the Pentagon. I said. I've seen men like you. Watch them bluff, threaten, then fold. His eyes narrowed. For a flicker, just a breath, I saw it. Fear, not of me, maybe, but of something coming apart. Olivia sputtered. You can't do this. You're not even the rightful owner. Sarah cut in. That's what we intend to prove in court. Daniel stepped forward. This is pestering. You're pestering my family. Sarah gave him a hard look, and deception is a serious crime. We turned and left. The slam of the door behind us was louder than I expected, like a final act in a play that had gone on too long. In the car, Sarah glanced over at me. They'll strike back, Maya. You ready? What they didn't know, I had access to tools they couldn't imagine. Digital analysis, chain of custody, metadata, and a few friends who owed me favors. The soft hum of my laptop filled the silent apartment, as I leaned over a second monitor, eyes tracing digital breadcrumbs left behind by people who thought they were smarter than the system. The glow of the screen lit the stacks of documents on my kitchen counter, overlapping in an organized chaos only I could decipher. It was nearing midnight. I hadn't slept properly in days, but sleep didn't matter. Not when I was this close. I clicked into the secure Zoom room. Ben appeared first, tired eyes, Marine Corps cap still on despite the hour. Then Zoe popped in. She'd always preferred anonymity, a blurred background, and her voice modulated just enough to avoid AI tracing. I got your packet, Zoe said without preamble. Encrypted well, but let's see what the liars left behind. I uploaded a zip file of PDF screenshots and one particularly shady wire transfer receipt. Zoe whistled. Someone's been busy funneling funds. Follow the IP, I said. That's all I need. She started parsing headers, running scripts, fingers tapping like a symphony of disclosure. Meanwhile, Ben leaned closer to the camera. I ran that company name you sent, Maratek Solutions. You're not going to like this. He uploaded a redacted report from a Defense Department internal archive. Back in 2016, Maratek bid on a supply contract, camo gear and radio parts. They submitted falsified compliance reports. Case got sealed when someone upstairs pulled strings. Let me guess, I said flatly. No guilty verdict, no penalty. Correct. But guess whose name shows up on the board of directors? Daniel A. Whitmore. I stared at the name. All this time, Olivia said he was the one who kept the family stable. She never said how. Zoe interrupted. I isolated a digital signature from that financial transfer you sent. The VPN they used isn't clean. Most amateurs assume they're safe, but there's a DNS leak. That IP traces back to a residential modem, Fairfax area, registered to Olivia Hale. I felt a chill crawl up my spine. So, they're funneling money from the house. Exact, and get this. Zoe added, one of the purchase orders routed through Maratek's system matches a lot number tied to a surveillance drone batch we flagged years ago during your deployment. You were still in the Gulf then, right? My mind flashed back. That case never resolved. Half the gear vanished after an audit. Someone covered it. Now, it felt like the ghosts of my past were reaching through the timeline, converging right here, right now. I want a chain of evidence, I said. Every login, every IP, every transaction they touched. This isn't just deception, it's military-grade misuse. Ben nodded. I'll pull DoD procurement cross-references. This could trigger federal review if it hits the right ears. Zoe's screen flickered, her face sharpened with tension. Maya, she said carefully, your inbox was accessed at 8:42 p.m. from an unfamiliar device. I froze. Are you saying I've been hacked? I'm saying someone's trying to cover their tracks, and you just lit up their radar. The letter came in a plain envelope, a cease and desist, but I had already mailed my report to the office of the Inspector General. It was thin, too thin to contain the weight of the guilt they carried, but it screamed hopelessness. The envelope sat on my kitchen table next to a steaming mug of black coffee, its neatly typed return address sterile and smug. Raven Holdings Legal Affairs. I didn't even bother opening. Instead, I turned back to the envelope I had dropped off yesterday morning. Priority mail, certified, signed upon delivery. Inside were copies of bank transfers, falsified deeds, metadata chains, audio transcripts, and a sworn affidavit, detailing how my identity had been used to secure access to restricted contracts. Each page was numbered, watermarked, and bound together by the one thing none of them had counted on, a soldier who knew how to build a case from the ground up. The office of the Inspector General for the Department of Defense didn't move quickly, but when it moved, it thundered. Later that evening, I received the automated reply. Your report has been received, and assigned a preliminary review officer. Follow-up will be communicated via secure channel. I read the line 3 times, letting it settle into the marrow of my bones. No longer whispers and shadow, no longer secrets between family members. This was now federal. Sarah called, as I finished scanning the reply. They'll want a full comparison of Olivia's known income versus incoming wires. Can you get that from Zoe? I already asked her. I said she's pulling last year's IRS statements and cross-referencing them with flagged transfers from shell companies. We'll need a summons eventually. Let me worry about that, Sarah replied. Just make sure nothing happens to you in the meantime. I smiled grimly. They'd have to try harder than an envelope, but elsewhere, someone was unraveling. I didn't hear it firsthand, but I later found out from Sarah, who heard it from a courthouse clerk who had lunch with someone at the zoning office. Olivia had lost it. Apparently she found out about the federal submission within hours. Whether it was the bank's compliance alert, or a panicked call from Daniel, she knew I'd gone over their heads, and she didn't take it well. By noon, Olivia had shown up at Sarah's office, unannounced, uninvited, and You think this is going to help her? She'd hissed. She's going to drag us all down, including her own father. Sarah remained calm, professional. She handed her a copy of the cease and desist letter I had received, and said quietly, "You might want to advise your counsel that threatening behavior toward a federal informant is a serious crime." Olivia stormed out, but not before throwing one final threat over her shoulder. "This isn't over."